Hello, Balaji.
So, good morning, sir. Am I
Good
audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible, visible. Everything is fine. And where are you now? Which place you are speaking from?
Currently at my home, sir, Viluppuram.
Viluppuram. Okay, okay. Tell me something about Viluppuram. When I say Viluppuram, we'll have to talk about its SWOT.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. So, in terms of strength, the Viluppuram is a major logistic junction in between Trichy, Chennai, and Puducherry. And secondly, it's well known for its tourist spots. So, historical wise, Jinji Fort is there, and Tiruvakkarai Geological National Park is there. And in terms of environmental perspective, it has Kaliveli and Osudu Lake bird sanctuaries are there, sir. And then it also has large population of agrarian labor share is high. So it is having agriculture and allied industries. It has nearly 4 sugar mills. It has, and apart from that, in terms of education, it also has new engineering colleges. Some 3 engineering colleges are there, and along with the law university has also been started recently, sir. And now coming down to this weakness, though the Viluppuram is a major logistic point, still its urbanization is very poor, sir. The rural population is very high in number. And Viluppuram district, in terms of social issues, it unfortunately faces frequent caste conflicts. And in environmental issues, there it has this notorious illegal sand mining, and so many cases were also being filed. That is an issue. And though the Viluppuram has this famous Kuvaham transgender festival, we have the space to empower them. Still, transgenders are largely marginalized in Viluppuram, and they are pushed towards begging and so on, sir.
Okay,
Now,
good. Now we will come down from the macro level to the micro level. Describe yourself.
Yes, sir. So I'm Balaji S, a native of Tiruvarur district. My father Silvaraj is currently working as Assistant Director of Prosecution. My mother Sugandhi is a housewife. I did my graduation in mechanical engineering from IIT Madras, and I developed an interest in 3D printing and have hands-on experience on the same. And I do watch wildlife documentaries and go for jogging for physical fitness, sir.
Wildlife documentary, which is the latest documentary you saw?
So recently I watched the Heroes at the Frontiers of Wildlife. It was directed by Krishnendu Bose and presented by Ashvika Kapoor. I liked it very much, sir.
Okay, okay, good. Now, earlier we used to talk about wildlife conservation. Now suddenly the activists say that wildlife population is on the increase. What signal does it emit?
Yes, sir. So the wildlife is very essential to maintain the ecological balance and preserve our biodiversity. But we are also seeing the rise in wildlife population. For example, we have almost doubled the tiger population in the past 2 decades. But at the same time, the increase in forest cover, it has been marginal. Right now, we stand at 24.62% of forest cover, though we envisaged 33%, one-third forest cover in 1988 forest policy itself. So there is this issue of carrying capacity, which is leading to, and further the industrialization and developments also leading to diversion of forest land for developmental purposes, which is leading to increasing man-animal conflicts. So this might have been the basis for which the wildlife activists are pointing out the increase in wildlife populations.
Have you visited any government office recently for any citizen services for yourself or for your friends or relatives?
Yes, so while applying for my OBC certificate, I have visited the E-Seva Center, sir.
Oh, e-service center, I wouldn't really call it a government office. When I say government office, the brick and mortar office, where the government officials work, where you see storage of files and broken furniture, that type of scenario. Have you ever visited any government office?
So to seek guidance for personality test, I had visited the SP of our district, sir. In his chamber, I had visited him, sir.
Okay, how was the response when you got into that office? How was the reception?
So it was good, sir. They were being very receptive and they were very open-minded. It's unlike what is generally shown in this media or the cinemas in the recently,
No,
where
but,
they always portray government in the
but
background.
Balaji, you were going there as a potential IPS officer because you were going for guidance from the SP. So probably you were received with a salute. But does that happen with a common man when he visits a government office? That is my next question.
So when I visited there, it was just like common man, sir. I was sitting outside of the SP office. Along with me, 3, 4 people were also sitting, sir. One of the person, I just used to this talking with strangers. So he told me he had come for some land issue in his family dispute or something. He had come to meet SP. The SP didn't call me, like if he feels important to me, he would have called me as soon as possible. But he gave primacy to disposal of the complaints, whoever has come first. Then he spent time with me, sir. So even while he was speaking with me, he was getting frequent calls. Then he used to talk and advise and everything.
So what was his guidance to you, the SP's guidance for preparation for the already assessments?
Sir mentioned that this personality test is not test of your knowledge. So be confident, calm, and be honest in the board.
Tiruthurai, your place of birth.
Yes, sir.
What is its historical importance?
Yes, sir. So, in terms of ancient history, the Tirthiraippudi has a temple, which is one of this Padal Petrasthalam. So, where the Nayanars, one of the Nayanars has come, Saiva Bhakti Saint has come and sung in praise of the Lord itself, and it has this emerald Shiva lingam, emerald lingam or emerald Shiva is there, sir. That is famous. And post independence, so the Tirthiraippudi and the surrounding region were notorious for bonded laborers. So the Communist Party, they mobilized the people, stood against them, and it has completely disappeared. So it has become a bastion of Communist Party in the post-independence times, sir. So from 1950 to the first election until now, except 2 instances, almost all the elections were won by Communist parties.
Now you did physics for your optionals.
Yes, sir.
Who got the Nobel Prize last year in physics, and for what?
Yes, sir.
Contribution?
Actually, 3 persons shared the Nobel Prize, sir. It was the fifth woman also who secured Nobel Prize in physics, sir. It was Annie L. Hullier. The other person's 2 names I'm not able to recall right now, sir. But the area in which it was won is attosecond physics. Yes, sir.
Okay. You had appeared earlier for the Forest Service
Yes, sir.
personality test. Which was the toughest questions asked during that time, where you felt a bit uncomfortable in the board?
So I didn't feel anything uncomfortable, but there were instances where I couldn't know the answer. But I told the chairman that, sir, sorry, sir, I don't know. And chairman was very receptive and he asked certain, for example, chairman asked, when is the National Voting Day was celebrated? So I told, sorry, sir, I don't know. But chairman further probed on, so what do you think is the idea behind that National Voting Day? So I could answer it, sir. I didn't feel any uncomfortable or any situation there, sir.
What is the intelligent manufacture? Why they call it intelligent manufacture?
Yes, sir. So it's about studying this emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and 3D printing, and how to integrate them within the existing manufacturing ecosystem to turn it smart.
No, you have to tell me in layman's language.
Yes, sir. So normally, when we are going to some lathe to get some things manufactured, let's say a small steel tube whose diameter needs to be reduced. The personnel in that lathe, he will put it on a turning machine and he will reduce its diameter. Now, it might not be highly precise as well. So it can be used only for certain applications, but may not be in aerospace or defense applications. Now, what if we give the machine the object? What if it does everything on its own, including the calculation? Let's say the machine is operating and in between some malfunction happens. So what if the machine has the ability to repair itself, or at least to show us what the exact malfunction or where it is happening? So nowadays, if a machine malfunctions, then we need to call a mechanic and we need to figure out actually where is it the belt that has been there or any other mechanical component fatigue is there or not. So it is about making the machine smart, like how the humans think, how we take decisions. So how are we going to make that machine smart?
This is a CNC machine, an intelligent manufacturing machine.
Yes, sir. It's a start of intelligent manufacturing things. It's about making it the process automation and ensure high precision. But if it can take decision on its own level, then the next stage comes, sir.
Have you are in the town of Viluppuram.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever gone and stayed in the village? When I say village, village without roads, village without proper drinking water supply, village without electricity.
Um, Sir, in Viluppuram, mostly I had gone through this transport system, public transport or in cars or vehicles only, sir. I have not stayed in any particular village, but in my native, I had stayed in my village, sir. In Tirunelveli district, I had stayed in village.
What is this stubble burning in North India, which happens during the winter?
Yes, sir. So, post the harvest season, when the paddy or the wheat has been harvested, some root and a portion of stalk remains there in the field. And since the next sowing season comes immediately, the farmers take the step of burning them. So when they burn them, huge amount of toxic fumes come up, and the particulate matters, they spread over the longer distance and increase the air pollution in Delhi and surrounding regions.
But this doesn't happen in southern part of India. Why? Only the northern part of India.
So that is associated with this way the cropping pattern is being done. So in the northern part, whenever this burning happens, the next cropping season, they needs to do it within a span of, if I'm correct, it's in a span of 10 to 12 days they need to do it. So because of that such short duration and non-availability of mechanical, cheaper mechanical ways to remove the stubble, so farmers opt for this. So that's why the government have been heavily promoting the custom hiring centers or even the Pusa decomposer to facilitate and reduce stubble burning, sir. Whereas when it comes down to southern India, the scenario is different, sir. We are having a longer gap between two seasons, and the mechanization is also on the higher side, sir. Farm mechanization.
You have any idea about the quantum of food production in India? How many million tons?
Sorry, sir. I could
Try
not guess, but
and
then
find out, because certain data you should always keep it ready. These are important data, like population India. I'm sure you know it.
yes, sir.
Food production of India, and we talk about food security. What is this food security?
Yes, sir. So it's in simple terms, it's about ensuring that no person goes to sleep with a hungry stomach. It's about ensuring that everyone has the basic food, the calorie intake is satisfied. So that is the premise, sir.
Well, you're talking philosophy, but I'm talking wanting to know the mechanics. How do we implement it? How is it being done? What is the plan? What is the coverage?
Yes, sir. So we have the National Food Security Act and a robust public distribution system. So the National Food Security Act mandates that 2/3 of population needs to be covered. So nowadays, nearly 80 crore people have been covered under the food security aspect. And now coming down to the distribution system, so people are given either rice, wheat, or coarse grain at a very subsidized price of 3 or 2 and 1 rupees respectively. So they have been distributed at subsidized price across the public distribution system, sir. And recently, the government has identified that we have a very highly mobile population as well. So it's promoting this one nation, one ration card in that aspect, sir.
What is the percentage of Indians who are BPL.
Sorry, sir.
Who are BPL, below the poverty line.
Yes, sir. So, in the very recent estimates, it has been predicted that nearly 16% of Indian population are multidimensionally poor, but there are no specifics data in the recent times which exactly tells how much BPL is there, because most of the data are again going back into the 2011 or 2010 periods. So according to that data, it was around 25 to 27%.
And what is MPI?
So it's a parameter used to it's called multidimensional poverty index. It understands poverty from different dimension, not just calorie intake, from standard of living, from health aspects. So it's a comprehensive parameters.
What games you play?
So for physical fitness, I do jog or play badminton with my friends. But I'm not very much into any sports per se.
What is happening in international badminton and tennis these days? Something remarkable is happening, both badminton and tennis.
Sorry, sir, I'm not a big follower of any sports. I used to play at a leisure time, so not following any sports per se.
You may not be following any sport, but when something remarkable or breakthrough happens, you must always. So better read the last page also. You may be reading the first page of the newspaper, but last page and last but one page are very important, equally important.
Yes.
Read about the development, yesterday's development in tennis and last week's development in badminton. Something very important is happening here. As a collector, what will be your focus of a rural district having a population, let us say, of 20 lakhs? I've explained. It's a rural district having a population of 20 lakhs. What will be your focus?
Yes, sir. First thing, identifying and empowering the weaker sections, the marginalized sections, sir. So farmers, transgenders, elderly population, or widows. So this would be my first priority and focus there. Now, second thing, so facilitating the industrial development through and sequence. So to start with, developing the agro-based industries, then starting by getting into the manufacturing arenas, so empowering them. And third thing, the education and health, so focusing on the human capital comprehensively, sir.
So your priorities are identifying the weaker section, then secondly the towards industrialization, and third one you said was health and
education. So leverage the human capital and make them employable, sir, the youth.
Okay. Now there is so much of celebrations all over the country on this Ram Janmabhoomi.
Yes, sir.
Functions. And there are two views on this. There are two views on this celebration. What is your take on this?
Yes, sir.
Suppose, let's say you are not a civil servant.
Yes, sir.
You are just a citizen.
Yes, sir.
The press is interviewing everybody, people from all walks of life. They are coming to the citizen, but enlightened citizen. And they ask, what is your view on all these celebrations which are happening in the country? What is your take on that?
So it's a very prominent moment in Indian history, sir. And there has been a sense of fraternity that has developed across north, south, east, west. There is a sense of unity that has been felt, sir. So this temple culture, it's not just associated with Hinduism or any particular religion. This temple culture transcends across everyone, the Indian peoples. So this has been a place that will promote more economy. So new airports have come, new railway stations have come revamped, the roads, connectivity, everything has come, sir. So from a citizen's perspective, I feel this will be a next major international destination attracting tourists from all over the world, and it will be a showcase moment for India, sir.
Okay. You would have come across this slogan, which is often telecast in Tamil Nadu, in the media, newspapers, TV. Hindi theriyadu poda.
You-
What is your comment on this?
Sir, see, if it's up to a particular individual to learn a particular language or not, there should be enough space given for them to explore and learn the language as well. But abruptly telling it in an manner without dignity, like the term poda, those are all very demeaning, sir. You might get into an intellectual debate where you can put forward your points. The other side may put forward your points. So there should be a dialogue and deliberation. So which is needed in a healthy democracy, sir. So these are unparliamentary and unwarranted, sir. That's my opinion, sir.
But this is stopped in the parliament, this term.
Yes, sir. So in the recent times, the disruptions we are seeing making the parliament face unparliamentary situations, sir.
No, well, that is the paradox in which we are living.
True, sir.
Okay. Balaji, your interview part is over.
Thank
Now
you, sir.
get into the dialogue, the feedback.
Yes, sir.
To start with, I wanted you to describe Viluppuram. You described it very well. Because the board, when they ask such questions, describe the place, a person, or yours. Are you audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm just making notes, sir, like what sir
Okay.
is telling you.
The place, you will also get the recording. They'll give it to you.
Sure, sir.
So that you can relax and mentally you make a note and you can ask for the recording, which will give you more time to this thing. First, you see, when you do both the things, you may miss certain points. So
Yes, sir.
listen. When the board asks a question, describe yourself, describe Thiruthurai Pundi, or describe Palestine, they don't want textual answers. They want your reflections. How are you associated with yourself? And when I say yourself, it is 360 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Not your biodata. People are very fond of saying, I am Balaji S, born in the year 1998, coming from Viluppuram. It is all there. We have gone through all those things. What is required is, what am I? What is my aspiration? What are the challenges I face? And what is the life around? What is the quality of life? See, these are some of the reflections. That is what, see, they are trying to find out your personality. Are you a bookish Balaji or are you a practical Balaji? Very important.
Yes, sir.
Bookish Balaji has no place in civil service. They want a practical Balaji. They do not want people who got 40 gold medals. Yesterday I came across a candidate. 40 gold medals in MBBS. And he wants to join the civil service. He has right reasons to join the civil service. In fact, I appreciate it. People from medicine, people from veterinary science, a few of them have joined the civil service and doing very well because they have the passion, the way they express. You also have expressed some passion. I'll come to that later. So if you have a passion, yes, you can show excellence in any field, be it intelligent manufacturing or be it civil service. But you have to have a passion for that. And you will have to look around. Like one personality trait which came out during our talk is you said, I'm used to talking to strangers. That's a good thing. See, why do you jog? There are thousands of people who jog. Why do they jog? Tell me.
So it's mostly for their physical fitness, getting to socialize with friends or meeting
Yes,
in
that's
person.
more important. It is not just for physical fitness. When I jog, I go on different routes. I come across different persons, places, and things. This is what I should say.
Hmm.
I observe while walking, while jogging, while running. I come across different personalities, persons, places, and things. And at different times, the scenario changes. I find flowers in the trees. I find no leaves in the trees. See, these are observations. If you merely say, sir, I jog for physical fitness, okay, you are okay, but not to my standard.
Hmm.
UPSC board is trying to look at your personality through these ways of asking questions. I know the time is very limited, 40, 45 minutes only they spend, but who are the people sitting on the other side? Minimum 30 to 40 years of experience. Having come across hundreds of people, places, things in governance, and 4 or 5 of them. Multiply 30 into 550 man years.
Hmm.
He's talking to you, trying to gauge you. 150 man years, just imagine. I mean, mind boggling. You see, people don't think in those terms. They just go there as if it is a question answer session. They answer no. Balaji, it is not a question answer session. It is a dialogue. The UPSC interview is a dialogue. It is a meaningful dialogue. Trying to you understanding the board, why they ask the questions. The question may be a very easy question. What is MPI? You know the answer. But then my purpose of asking MPA is not to have the expansion only. Yes, this is a parameter. Then you should bring the board into below poverty level, food security, because these are all associated with all these things. Then they will say, look at this man, he is making an intelligent conversation and he has observed everything around. You see, always give the 360 degrees view. Well, you may raise a doubt. When I give a 360-degree view, I may also pose some negative postulates. No problem. Without negative, the positive will not work. See, there is a reaction only when there is a positive and a negative. You can always give the negative view also, but at the end, sir, there is also a limitation. There is also a deficiency. There is also a negative factor. Though I stopped you while asking the question on Ram Janmabhoomi, at the end you could have said, because I said there are two views.
Yes, sir.
You didn't come to the second view. I stopped you. Yes, there are, but then this is a unifying factor to bring the dissenting people to this side. Because it is a national celebration. It has nothing to do with religion. It is a unifying factor. Ram is part of our history. Indus Valley, let us say. Is it connected with any religion?
No, sir.
Keeladi, is it connected with any religion?
No, sir.
Tiruvalluvar, Shankaracharya, though born a Hindu, but can you say that he is connected only with Hinduism? Vivekananda.
Hmm.
Like that, you take any national personality, sir, these are all unifying factors. Jesus Christ, though the Christians may claim that he is a Christian, but I look at him as a global avatar. It is for the entire humanity. What he preached was not for Christians. It is for humanity. This should be your view. Narrow focus should never come in your answer. I didn't observe, which is the point, but I'm just questioning you.
Yes,
A
sir.
narrow focus, a partisan view, over supporting the government in power, don't bring in all these elements. They are to be totally. You did not, but I want to emphasize that. You see, there are people, they think that if I praise the government, I may get selected. No. UPSC is not sitting there to see how much vote you give it to the party in power. No. Your personal view, how good it is, whether it is based on analysis, understanding, that is what they try to look at. Now, as a collector, yes, you did the analysis. You told me three. Of course, there are 100 factors you can look at, but there are three important factors. First, you said weakest section, very important. You see, you can straight away say, I will look at the development of the district, but that is very general. In such pointed questions, you give pointed answers, focused answers, specific answers. Yes, I will look at the weaker sections because they require more priority. Unfortunately, in our governance system, weaker sections get less priority because the head count is less. The other people who have the haves, they claim all the important, they have the money power, they have the muscle power, they get all the benefits. So you hit the nail by saying that the weaker section, the marginalized section, the farmers, the transgenders, children in the rural areas, they don't get proper nutrition. They don't get proper clothing. Even today, 75 years after independence, you go to the rural areas, they have still remained in the same way because our welfare schemes have not touched them. It has not reached them yet. We have welfare schemes. The board may say, no, we have the child welfare program, mother welfare program, mother and child program, expectant mothers program, pregnant mothers program, mother after delivery. Yes, sir, but it has still not reached all the people. I will address that. That means you have already looked at the problem in the ground, you are aware of it, you want to address it. Good. They may ask questions on what is this director of prosecution? What do they do? What is your answer?
Yes, sir. So they supervise the functioning of public prosecutors across the states, sir. And they give support to the police department in legal advisors, and the directors, assistant directors and deputy directors, they are involved in drafting the charge sheet for most sensitive cases. Yes, sir.
Have you attended any court session?
Sorry, sir?
Any court sessions?
No, sir, I have not been.
Very interesting. When is your interview?
So it's not in the first phase, sir.
Okay, if you find time, go with your father, attend just half an hour, 1 hour. Just observe what happens in the court. How people are seated, how the judge comes in to the court, how the proceedings start, how the witnesses come to the stand, how the prosecution started its pleas, Just observe. It is interesting. Because if there is a question on that, if you say, sir, I happen to visit the court, this becomes a plus point. And I observed this. Because this director of prosecution is a recent phenomenon. When I say recent, about 20 years. It was not there during the British time. They had a public prosecutor and all those things, but they didn't have this designation called a director of prosecution. Now, all the states, they have this director of prosecution who are there to oversee the public prosecutors and assist the legally the police and other departments. It will be a good observation to see how the judiciary works. Especially if you can go to a district judge's court. That is where the prosecutors have more role to play. The sessions court, the public prosecutor, how he takes up his argument, things like that. Maybe about half an hour if you spend, it'll be worth it because you can use that information if there is any question on that, okay? Or visit to a government office. They keep asking, have you ever, okay, you want to become an IAS officer. Have you ever met an IAS officer? Close quarters. Have you?
Yes, sir. I had met, sir.
Whom?
So, a trainee collector named Shivakrishnamurthy IAS in Viluppuram I had met in 2018, sir.
He was a trainee.
Yes, sir.
Anybody who was functional, have you met?
Functional, I had a brief interaction with our then collector, sir, Annadurai IAS.
Okay. And what were your, okay, you have briefly met him, but you have seen him functioning in the district.
Yes, sir.
You heard about him, you read about him.
Yes, sir.
What struck you most of his performance or personality in the district?
So, conflict resolution, sir. During that time, there were no major law and order issues were not there. And even this caste conflicts, those are all taken a backseat during his period, sir.
Because he must have been a great conciliator.
Sorry, sir?
Conciliator. He must have been a great conciliator.
Yes, sir.
Listening to problems and solving them.
Yes, sir.
Conflict resolution is a daily activity for a civil servant. Daily activity it is. Not just one, there'll be a couple of activities in a day. Conflict. Yes. Everything is a conflict. Everything is a challenge in government. So you will have to resolve it. So conflict resolution is a major role which they play. Good. See, this is what is important. You should not talk about, sir, his knowledge is good and a good personality. Conflict resolution. Yes. He was very good in conflict resolution. There are hundreds of civil servants during the COVID who did excellent work.
Yes. Actually, during that time, even another IAS, he engaged with self-help groups within Viluppuram district to make masks and distributed it, sir. Across the police department or the frontline workers, he distributed it. So one way this made them a source of income. It was most talked about during that time.
IAS officers, police officers, medical officers, they did excellent service during the COVID time. If the board asks questions on, what have you observed in government? What is their contribution? What are their welfare measures? We should always bring the role during COVID. They do fantastic things. During floods, they do fantastic things. During emergencies, our administration really rises up to occasion. But normal time, they're lazy, inefficient, corrupt. These are facts. You need not hide that. That is the general impression. That they are inefficient. When I go, they'll say, come tomorrow. Or they will say, the file is missing. Let me trace the file. All these things are there with such a tradition. Ours is a traditional bureaucracy. Ours is not the American or the Singapore type bureaucracy. Whereas you put a problem, before the problem goes in, the answer has come out because they know what is the problem and they have a solution. But here it is different. In India, it is the wheels move very, very slowly. the system is so large, and the population pressure. Because everybody has a problem. It's an evolving society. There is an overload of problems. So this fellow is not able to solve it, he will always postpone it. And the problem gets buried. You see, this is where delay occurs in governance because of an overhang. Not that people are not efficient, but the other factors overweigh. That is the whole predicament in governance. Physics, yes. They normally don't go into subjects, but there could be questions like whether you are up to date. See, then they will. The one way of understanding you're up to date in current affairs, looking around 360 degrees is noble. Or what is the recent development in physics, they may ask. Or somebody may try to field a googly by saying, what is astrophysics? You see, just to take you off the rails, they may ask a question. They can ask any questions, but the point is, everything has got a purpose when they ask a question. Tiruvarur, again, that would be questions because people, what is the moment I say Tiruvarur, what comes before your mind?
Tiruvalluvar.
Huh?
Tiruvalluvar. No, sir. I had a mock interview where I had actually a discussion with my friend. He's not from this state, sir. He's from Andhra Pradesh.
Okay.
So when I mentioned Tiruvarur, my friend, okay, is he associated with Tiruvalluvar? Is this place associated with Tiruvalluvar? Was his question.
Okay.
But generally, it's known for this farmer protest and Kaveri issue. So
yes, that belt, yes.
Highly prominent things.
It is an agrarian.
Yes, sir.
Agrarian belt, and you see, Kaveri is a river of joy and a river of sorrow also. When it doesn't reach the tail end, it becomes a river of sorrow. And it doesn't reach the tail end not because of nature, because of politics, because of other factors. You can't blame Kaveri for that.
Yes, sir.
You see, the Kaveri issue today is because of others, not because of the river. River flows on its own and it finds its own course depending upon its strength. But then we try to tame it. We try to sit over the river by putting the dam.
Yes, sir. So apart from this politics, I feel even if we take Karnataka as well as Tamil Nadu have this dry land sort of climate. So we should shift to traditional forest cropping system and varieties. At the same time, Karnataka needs to decentralize development. The development is around Bangalore. So more and more drinking water needs will come. What about the northern parts of Karnataka? So I feel like both the states are at mistake, and rather than solving the root cause, they are looking at the immediate political gain and politicizing it.
See, as long as they keep the issue alive politically, they'll be strong. That's the whole problem. To survive in politics, you want issues and you want burning issues.
Sir, I have this question in my mind, sir, that why we are not seeing leaders like Kamarajar who looks at the larger perspective, and why we are seeing this more of this politicizing tendencies in the recent times.
Okay. Value system. It has changed in society all over the world. Today,
Yes,
you don't have national leaders. You don't have global leaders. Forget about global leaders. They will never come. But even national leaders, we are not able to produce. We have regional leaders today. That time there were national leaders like Kamaraj who could think ahead.
Yes, sir.
Today you don't have people of that stature. Value systems have changed. Everybody is trying to chase money and acquire money, wealth, in and around me.
Yeah, they are heavily invested
in and around us. The big gulf between me and we. This is the problem. It's a value system. Difficult to change. Again, my old theory, it is part of evolution. First, there was nothing. Then order came. When order came, politics came. When politics came, decay starts. This is evolution.
Yeah.
You can't stop it. You cannot stop it. It will go in this route. Again, from decay and anarchy, order may come. Because it's cyclical. It is all see, everything has got an explanation. Only thing is people don't understand all these processes. There are various processes involved in all these activities and this thing. Okay.
Thank you, sir. This is a new dimension that I have to ponder upon. Thank you, sir.
Think loudly, you will get you will get to the rationale for everything. Everything good, everything bad, everything ugly has got a beginning and an end. You see, that is also evolved. Ugliness has also evolved. Bad also has evolved from good. I'll give you a beautiful this thing, because I don't think they'll ask you, but they have been asking. The Chola kings, Rajaraja Cholan, Rajendra Cholan, this is very good. But what happened thereafter? They were so good. But what happened thereafter?
Anarchy.
Why?
And their subsequent decline.
One explanation is they were too good. And to be good is bad. That's one theory. I mean, I subscribe to that theory. To be good is also bad. They were so much welfare oriented. They kept that Aimberungulu, Enberayam.
Yes, sir.
Democracy. See, look at most kings who were despots. These were kings who were so democratic.
Yes, sir. They realized decentralization then during 1,000 years before. Yeah.
So too much welfare is bad. You see, they didn't keep, they went all over the world, conquered everything, distributed everything. Construction of temples, construction of road, patashalas, this, that, and all those things. But they did not maintain their empire building thereafter. So as a result, after these two people, there is a vacuum.
Decline. Yes, sir.
So from good, it became bad. I wouldn't say really bad, but almost disappearance. See, that is a way of which I get very this thing at times when I talk about the Cholas. Suddenly it was so good. It should have continued. It didn't. Okay, the feedback is over. I am happy to tell you very briefly. You are knowledgeable and you are able to express well, and you are smiling. Maintain all these things. These are important factors.
Yes, sir.
You're dressed well for the occasion. Everything is fine. And as I said, try to project the 360 degrees. Very
sure.
important. And try to show your concern for the poor.
Yes, sir.
I wouldn't call it poor. Concern for the citizen, which is larger. Because the civil servant is for the citizen.
Yes, sir.
They have to be civil while serving. That's why the name is civil servant. And you are for the citizen. Try to project that image before the board while you are answering. Then the success is yours. You have any questions to ask?
Yes, sir. So as sir told, is there any change in my personality or anything that sir suggests apart from this 360-degree viewing of myself or the analysis? Is there any other change that
I haven't noticed any this thing. And of course, you will get a chance for a mock interview.
Yes, sir.
Because you have time. Your interview date is not known. That means
Yes, sir.
another 1 month's time. If we observe anything, but I have not, except that I keep telling everybody this 360 degrees is very important. You see, otherwise people are very
Focused, narrow.
subject centric.
Hmm.
And when they talk about a subject, they become very subject centric, whereas the subject has got a different
Dimensions.
views. Bring it into that, bring it into governance. You see, you are a potential civil servant. Try and display that. Yes, you are not an engineer now.
Hmm.
You're a potential civil servant. That role you want to take.
Yes, sir.
And even while talking about intelligent manufacturing, you can say, so this intelligent systems can be introduced everywhere.
Hmm.
Even in the work processes in government,
Hmm.
in health management,
Hmm.
educational systems, the processes which we follow, teaching methodologies.
Hmm.
Try to show its connect. Don't overemphasize, but
Yes.
try to show any subjects connect with governance. See,
Yes,
when you say governance, it is for larger masses.
Yes, sir.
When you talk about intelligent manufacturing, it is for a particular product. But here, I am expanding it to a larger masses, to a citizen services.
So answer to the point, but at the same time, at that end, briefly in 1 or 2 lines, give that connect to that governance part.
Yeah, so that you are giving a larger dimension.
And even I might be probed more in that next question could be there in that.
Possible. Because you are trying to bring any subject and its connect to a larger dimension.
Yes, sir.
That is very important. That means you are analytical. That's what they try to see. And
Yes.
when you can connect it with governance, you can connect it with citizens, you connect it with nations. Like we brought Ram as a unifying. Ram, you see, otherwise everybody knows Ram is an avatar, a god, part of religion, part of Hinduism. These are all narrow focuses. But whereas we are trying to say that it's a unifying factor. Well, there's a vast difference, between this and that.
Yes, sir.
It is a thrust towards development, because the nation gets united to do things together, to do things to strength. That's why I said, you see, the moment the unifying factor expression comes, it gives a lot of strength. That is what they are trying to achieve. Though it may be political, then they may say, isn't it too much political? Sir, any political party will take mileage out of such things. But then when I look at national perspective, it's a great unifying.
Yes, sir.
But none of these fellows in TV who come and all talk in these lines. They are 100% pro or 100% anti. That shows the depth of knowledge, That's a limited, it is, unfortunately. Most of these spokespersons who talk, I feel sorry, because they have poverty of thinking. They don't come up to this level of talking about, look at this, and it's a unifying factor. The whole, you talk of Vande Bharat. Why Vande Bharat? You have standardized it. NEET, another subject, which is controversial in Tamil Nadu. But then it is standardized. The testing system for medical education entrance.
Yes, sir.
Why don't we talk in those terms? And Hindi Theriyadu Poda, you gave the correct answer. You can't talk in parliament like that, Hey, public forum, you can't talk like that. And coming from members of parliament, I was shocked. But then that is the value system which has come down.
Yes, sir.
We have to raise it. I really don't know whether we'll be able to raise it. And gone are those days of parliamentary spokespersons. You talk of Disraeli, you talk of Vajpayee, who displayed tremendous parliamentary decorum, either in the UK or in India, but today it is different. They are all playing to the gallery. The moment the person says Hindi Tiriyadu Poda, there is a clap. What is wrong learning a language? It is good. It's an asset. Learning a language is an asset. Okay, you can talk about imposition of Hindi against all those things are fine, but then we have nothing against a language. And all the fellows who are working in your household, they are all having their mother tongue Hindi or Bengali. You like it, but then you don't want to learn it. Anyhow, it's a controversy.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes.
So that's all. If there is anything else, wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir.
As for a mock interview, as we go, when the date comes, I think try to bring in more of this 360 degrees.
Sure, sir.
Okay, I am very happy today on your performance.
Thank you, sir.
Right, Balaji, all the best.
Thank you, sir.